Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. A lot of actions in the world of football. Just as we talk about UEFA Champions League, good one for the man they call Erling Haaland. He was able to do it against his former club Dortmund over there at the Etihad Stadium. Well, we'll be talking about all this while we run the show. The first story have to do with President Buhari to host Commonwealth Games athletes today. That'll be coming up at the Asoro Villa there, where they'll be hosting the contingent that traveled to Birmingham to represent Nigeria at the Commonwealth Games. We were able to win 35 medals all. We won 12 gold medals, 9 silver, and at least right now we'll be celebrating them today for the fact that they did well over there in Birmingham City. Good one for Team Nigeria. They'll be hosted by Mr. President, and they deserve the accolades they are getting from the federal government of Nigeria there. For the first time, we broke the jinx of having 11 gold medals at the Commonwealth Games. At this time around, we actually were able to gather 12 gold medals. Joining me to talk sport this hour, I have two gentlemen. That's Ibrahim Yusuf, good to have you. You're smiling.
Always nice to be here, Adeni.
And Abdullahi Kabiru, good to have you.
Pleasure.
Let's start with the hosting of the athletes. Birmingham, that's Commonwealth Games, and they traveled. They saw the Conga, 35 medals in all. They got 12 gold medals, and right now they deserve to be given this particular reception by Mr. President today.
Yeah, I think that's. I think the reception is long overdue. I mean, like the Commonwealth Games has been over for a while now.
Yeah, maybe due to logistics.
Yeah, well, I think so, but I think it's well deserved. It's well deserved. I mean, like Team Nigeria did a very good job, an amazing job. They were absolutely brilliant. We're all proud of them. They made us proud as Nigerians, and they really do deserve any honor that the country can bestow on them, because they went there. They represented us. They represented the country, and they did an amazing job. So it's the least we can do to show them how appreciative we are of what they have done.
Well, we're still looking at that. We know that the likes of Tobi Amusan broke the world record, running 12.12 seconds, winning $100,000 for himself, for our son. A lot of them did well, like 4x100 meters, even though that is being displayed a bit now because of the issue of doping.
Exactly.
But right now, we have to celebrate this entire squad, contingent.
Yeah, it was a good gesture from Mr. President to host them after making us proud at the Commonwealth Games recently concluded in Birmingham. You know, sports is one of the few areas, you know, as Nigerians, it gives us like positivity, you know, other areas, you know, there's so much negativity. Well, at least sports is one of the few, and entertainment, but focusing on sports, yeah, they've really done well, especially the women athletes, like you mentioned, Tobi, Ofili, Brume, they've really done us proud. So it's a good gesture from Mr. President. Hopefully there's a cash reward there. It's not just seeing them handshake, or you host them for dinner maybe.
Let's see what will be happening. A lot of people are expecting them to get some warm handshake, not just ordinary handshake. Although they did well for Nigeria, winning 35 medals, and right now they are to be celebrated today at the Asoro Villa there. Good one. At least we appreciate what they've done so far, especially the ladies, like Kabiru said. The ladies really shone like million stars at the competition that took place in Birmingham City. Well, good one. They had at least icing on the cake. You have Tobi Amusan and also Brume. Not forgetting Blessing Obrodudu and all the athletes that competed. They did so well. Weightlifting, wrestling, everyone, all of them. We have to appreciate what they've done. Now, away from that, another Nigerian who did well while playing for his club, Rivers United, his name is Chijioke Akuneto, was able to score 19 goals last season, and now he has been given the Golden Boot Award. Well, the sponsors right now, they've actually given him that particular award for scoring 19 goals, and to let you know, he will be smiling home with 3.8 million naira, because each goal is scored actually amassed 200,000 naira. 19 goals, all. That's a good one for Chijioke Akuneto, Rivers United player, who right now is smiling and also getting the Golden Boot. This is good.
It's absolutely amazing, because to score 19 goals in the Nigerian professional football league is no mean feat. It's not. It's really not a mean feat.
It's like Italian league.
Exactly. It is. We know how tough the NPFL can actually be with other factors, and not necessarily the play, but other factors as well. But for someone to come through the season scoring 19 goals, I mean, like, it's absolutely amazing, and he deserves to be recognized for that. 200,000 for each goal I think it's a good one, and I think it's enough motivation for other other strikers to go out there and make the difference as well. But I think it's well deserved because it's really not an easy job to score 19 goals in the Nigerian Professional Football League.
Just like I said, Italian Football League is
it's actually
like
very,
they said,
very tough.
like Napoli, like Lagos, or like Lagos, like Napoli.
Exactly.
So we actually have the same style of football.
Exactly. And it's not just the style of football. I mean, like we know how our pitches are. We know how difficult it is to actually
and all the other things attached to it.
And all the
travel,
insecurity. Travel, insecurity. You're playing the game. You're playing away. You're scared what's going to happen after the game.
Maybe
if you perform very well. Exactly.
By
the fans. Exactly. You don't want to get rushed by the fans and all that. So to actually go through the season and score 19 goals throughout the season, I mean, like that means like he's averaging like a goal every other game, which is fantastic for him. And I think it's a very good recognition for him to get that amount of money and of course the Golden Boot to go for it.
A good one.
Hopefully they'll be able to keep him because after scoring 19 goals, maybe other teams will be looking to take him away. Maybe some European clubs.
Of course.
Honestly, it shows that he's a really talented striker. So congratulations to him. At least money is a huge incentive for him to go on again and see if he can repeat the feat next season.
Good one. Let's see how it's going to be for Chijioke Akuneto right now, who has actually got this golden boot for scoring 19 goals in the MPFL, Nigerian Professional Football League last season. 19 goals there. Well, right now he has actually added more money to his pocket. Congrats to him, and this will spur other players to action to see how they can do better by the time the league begin. Well, let's go to the big one that happened just yesterday. UEFA Champions League matches were played across Europe, and now we have to look at those games, 9 matches. And let's start. Well, again, Chelsea, Juventus, they couldn't just get a win. Well, let's look at the result again. Rangers, Napoli, as expected, prediction came that Napoli will win, and really they did well against Rangers. I can see Kabiru nodding his head because I'm sure you were one of those that actually predicted that Napoli will win.
Yeah, I predicted it was going to be a convincing win for Napoli. You know, Scottish teams, like, no disrespect to them, but the league is not really levels. Probably you compare it to Championship in the Premier League, with all due respect. So I don't really rate them either. And the form Napoli have been in this season, I think it was expected. It was quite a convincing victory for them at Ibrox. No real threat to them. Yeah, they did well and they got the job done. It looks like they'll top this group, Napoli, the way it's going. They've had a good start to the season. They're still unbeaten in all competitions. So yeah, quite comfortable. Yeah,
quite comfortable there. I'm sure, Ibrahim, too, you look at what's happened just between Napoli and Rangers. Kabiru was saying, well, for him, Scottish League is like Championship. I don't know.
Yeah, well, no, seriously, yeah. When you look at it like that, you know, the quality of the Scottish League, it just like you said, with all due respect to the Scottish players, it's not up there with the rest of it, and it shows every time they come to the Champions League. It actually shows that
they always make up the number.
You know that there's this huge gap between the Scottish League and every other league out there as well, and that class always shows. But the thing is, looking at yesterday's game, I mean, like, for a while Celtic were in it. For a long time, Celtic were actually in that match. And then after the red card and everything, then everything went haywire. Exactly. So, but they were in it for a while, and they gave Napoli a good run for their money at one particular point. But then the result didn't really reflect how play went on. Really, because I think they really
deserve to actually at least
get something out
like
of it.
Like a draw.
Yeah, maybe they could have, if they had gotten a point, nobody would begrudge them that, because they actually performed very well. I mean, like, the goalkeeper saved 2 penalties, so I mean it's a very good performance for them. And I heard Gio van Bronckhorst saying that he was happy with the performance, but the result did not really reflect how the game went. And I think that's why I'm gutted for them, because if you go out there and you just lay down and you get beat, you have no sympathy from anybody. But if you go there and you play out your hearts, and unfortunately the result doesn't go your way, I think it's something to sympathize with them about. I think that red card actually changed the whole dynamics of everything.
Good one for Napoli. Well, no matter how it is, no matter how good you play, if the result doesn't favor you, well, you've not done anything. We're still talking about UEFA Champions League. Let's look at AC Milan, Dinamo Zagreb. Matches were played, and we have a good one for AC Milan at Giuseppe Meazza. They did well, winning 3-1. Well, Giroud won't stop scoring. He has really done well for himself when it comes to football. AC Milan, Dinamo Zagreb.
Just like you said, Olivier Giroud has proven to be a very good signing for Milan. A lot of people thought his career is actually on the downward spiral, and he's just going there.
And he picked it up.
Exactly, he's just going there to finish up his career. But he has an Italian league winners medal already.
I think he's even looking stronger.
And he keeps going, and he keeps scoring, and he opened the scoring yesterday, and it's absolutely fantastic for them. Milan didn't play that particularly well, especially in the first half. They didn't play that particularly well, but the goal changed the game, and everything went according to plan for them. They couldn't keep a clean sheet, but at least they got the result that they needed. And now that Chelsea are proving not to be the force that they are supposed to be, that everybody thought that they will be after the draws, I mean, like, the group is wide open, and I think it's an opportunity for Milan to actually go out there and see if they can top it.
Well, it has happened again. Chelsea, they got a draw. Salzburg against Chelsea. Well, while we're like, okay, maybe this will be the breaking point for them. The last one, they lost against Dinamo. The second one, they draw now. And the first match for Graham Potter, and it was like, well, maybe we're able to turn things around. It never happened.
Yeah, you know, Chelsea with the new manager playing at home, you're expecting them to have that, okay, new manager in, we need to prove ourselves. But unfortunately, it didn't turn out like that on the night. Sterling scoring, it seems like he's their best player this season.
And but the time was actually removed. You saw unhappiness on his face.
Yeah, he was unhappy because he was probably their biggest threat. So he was substituted. Salzburg, you think they're a poor team, but they really showed themselves. Okafor, the young Swiss, even though he's from a Nigerian background, but he plays for Switzerland, so
we have two. Let me say it. We have two Nigerians in that squad. That is one John. Yeah. Even though, yes, wait. No, the reason is the fact that no matter how you tricks them,
they're
Nigerian-born players. But
the fact that yes, they are getting plenty in our team now. That's Super Eagles. Yeah. You just have to be very careful because all these abroad Oyinbo beginning that's coming to football. But really, Adamu and Okafor, they really show their class.
Yeah, they did really well. Salzburg, they're known for producing so many talented young players in the past. Mane, Haaland, Adeyemi from Dortmund. These guys all came from Salzburg. So no wonder Chelsea are even looking to take their sporting director. So it was a disappointing game again for Chelsea. So you don't know what's going on there. Maybe they thought the manager was the problem, a new guy is in. But to be fair, it's his first match. He's not used to playing in the Champions League, Graham Potter, so it's a new experience for him. So Chelsea really need to step up, otherwise they might not qualify for the next round at the rate they are going.
The way they are going, Ibrahim, you agree with this?
Yes, I do agree. I do agree on 100%. Anybody that knows anything about football knows that the manager is not the problem at Chelsea. I mean, everybody knows that. I mean, like, taking Thomas Tuchel is just, it was a wasted move. And bringing in someone like Graham Potter, who has no experience at that particular level, and expect him to make that huge a difference within this period of time. I mean, like, it's beyond reasoning. So it's not a question of changing the manager or anything like that. It's a serious issue, and it has to come from the top. And the top is really not getting it right. You're thinking of getting a sporting director now, after the transfer window has actually closed. What exactly is he going to do for you?
I don't know the problem.
Changes in January?
Really, right now, Chelsea just have to be very careful.
The problem is you have people who know absolutely nothing about football trying to run a football club. That is just the basic. That's just
it. You are Tony Carragher now.
That's just the basic
Tony
thing.
Carragher now talking to somebody that he doesn't know anything about EPL.
Exactly.
And he just came around.
You have people who have no business in football. Okay, you have the money. Buy the club. Get the people that are going to run this place to run it for you. That is simple.
He wants to do Abramovich, so let him do it.
But Roman actually brought in the people. He brought in the people to work for him.
And Abramovich never really came to the media and made comments, random things, saying they should bring all-star games to the Premier League, saying that Chelsea produced De Bruyne, Salah from the academy. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He just, Americans and.
Don't worry, I know what to do. I'll get him down here so that.
Yes, I think we should actually bring him down here and ask him. Maybe we can get an insight.
Call him on Skype.
Seriously, well, good one. They are, at least we have to talk about Chelsea. Really, the performance is not really going well right now. First loss, second one draw, and now they just have to get there. If they are to qualify from this group, it's a tough one for the Blues. Now, still talking about UEFA Champions League, we quickly look at other results as it went down. Shakhtar Donetsk, Celtic 1-1 as expected. Both of them, well, they fought hard. Real Madrid, well, the Los Blancos show class 2-0 against Leipzig. Ibrahim, you want to agree with me that Real Madrid really, they actually did not forget about it, but they picked it up again.
Yes, they actually didn't just leave it lying there. They actually picked it up again, and they always do that in the Champions League. No matter how poorly Real Madrid actually plays, they always find a way.
It's like there's a spirit behind.
And that's the difference. That's where the pedigree comes in. You understand? That's where the European experience comes in. No matter how bad they are playing, they actually find a way to make it through. I think Leipzig gave a very good account of themselves. It was a very tough game for Real Madrid. It wasn't like a stroll in the park.
A stroll in the park.
Just because it was 2-0 doesn't mean like it was a walk in the park for them. It wasn't, absolutely, because Leipzig gave a very good account of themselves. They had some very good chances. Unfortunately, they couldn't cut it. But Real Madrid, the class came, it is shown through, and that's actually what you need. Just like what you said earlier, it doesn't matter how well you play. Doesn't matter the kind of performance. That is what we're after. You know, who got the 3 points at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, Madrid came through.
Well, for you, Real Madrid, Leipzig, it was a tough match, although I actually spotted Valverde. He did well. It was like, okay, we don't have Benzema here. Let's see what we can do, and he rose to the occasion.
Honestly, he's turning into a very important player for Real Madrid in recent times. You know, they're missing their best player, Benzema. You'd think that would affect them, but they held on. First half was 0-0. Second half, they scored 2 important goals. Brilliant goal from Valverde. Asensio scored a nice goal. Well, yeah, Real Madrid, 100% record still this season. The way they're going, and
they are doing well in La Liga.
Honestly,
too.
They haven't.
Yes, they're doing absolutely fantastic.
They've won all their matches so far in all competitions this season. So the way they're going, you'll be worried if you're an opposition
opposition party.
Honestly, the way they're going.
Yeah, so they're having a spectacular season, and well, all eyes now on who's going to stop this Real Madrid juggernaut. I mean, like from stopping them doing the damage both in La Liga and in the Champions League. I think for some time now, we have a season whereby we are actually looking forward to the Classico.
And it's going to be tough this time around.
Exactly, because of course, because for a while, the Classico has not been what it was. It has not been as competitive as what it is. But Barcelona have strengthened. They have got amazing players. They're playing fantastic football. Real Madrid is at the top of their game. I just hope Benzema comes back before then so that we can have full Real Madrid, full Barcelona, and we can really enjoy the Classico this season.
Hopefully we'll see El Clasico this season getting more interesting, because right now it seems the two teams are fired up to perform very well this season. Real Madrid, Barcelona. Madrid winning their game at the Santiago Bernabeu 2-0 against Leipzig. That was it there. Now quickly we look at other results as we've been looking at it, and we just talk about FC Copenhagen against Sevilla, expected 0-0. Sevilla, the king of Europa League, right now they are in Champions League. They actually drew against Copenhagen. Manchester City, big one, against Borussia Dortmund. I think this particular match was like a homecoming at Etihad Stadium for their boy Erling Haaland, and he really rose to the occasion. That particular volley, no one saw that coming, but he did it.
Oh, honestly, that's Erling Haaland, but you have to give it to the cross as well from Cancelo with his outside boot. Honestly, not many players can pull that off. Similar to the one Modric did last season for the Rodrigo goal, if you're in the Champions League, the outside of the boot cross. But Erling Haaland, what can you say? The guy is a machine. As in the way he rolls his leg up, almost his own height. You would think he would probably get a break something or something, but he's got a brilliant goal. The guy is a machine. Scored almost every game this season, 13 goals in 9 games. His Champions League record, he has scored more goals than games, which is quite unbelievable. So, but it was a tough match for
Manchester City. I think to some extent, Dortmund really played.
Yeah, Dortmund
they played very well.
Dortmund came to the party. Match. I mean, like, they didn't come and lie down and say this is Manchester City. Yes. We're playing them at home and they were going to get beat. No, they came out there and they gave a very good account of themselves. Yeah, the result didn't go their way, but they played amazing football. And when you're playing again, they know Haaland. They know what he can actually do. And
he was almost not scoring.
And you couldn't, and you can't actually blame anybody for that goal, because when you look at it defensively, the shape was fine. They had more defenders there than attackers in that.
They never expect that.
Nobody will expect anything like that. You understand? Just like you said, the quality of the pass itself. Genius. You understand? It was absolutely fantastic. And for him to decide to go with even the wrong foot, not even to go with his head, to go with the wrong foot at that particular point in time, exactly, and get the right amount of touch that he needed and the right amount of pace on that ball to get it into the net. I mean, like, it's absolutely fantastic. The boy is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And when you look at his touches, that's one thing that you need to look at. Erling Haaland is not the kind of guy that runs around the pitch looking for the ball, that he must have 100 and something touch. It doesn't matter. You understand? He gets 3-4 touches, he scores. That's just what that's what happens. Exactly.
So
He's absolutely amazing, and he's unplayable every day, any day. He's absolutely unplayable. And I think the Manchester City actually have a beast in their hands, and Erling Haaland is exactly that.
Right.
So if they can keep him fit, keep him scoring, I don't think anything is stopping them in the Premier League this season.
And you have to shout out to Jude Bellingham as
Bellingham
well. We
too.
spoke
He did
about
well.
him yesterday. He did well. He scored again against Man City. He was brilliant in the midfield, really high energy, just 19 years old. You can see why teams are looking for him. They're saying he's worth over £100 million. Honestly, you could see his value yesterday. Yeah. So if Liverpool can get their act together and get him next season, he'll really be a top player for them.
He will be a top player for them. Talking about Jude Bellingham, play for Borussia Dortmund. A tough one between Dortmund and Man City, but eventually their former player Erling Haaland put it right for Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. It ended 2-1. And Juventus Benfica, surprisingly, although not that you rule out Benfica, they conquered 2-1 against the old ladies at Turin. It was a match that nobody saw coming, but really, I actually give it a thumbs up for Benfica.
No, if you've actually followed Juventus this season, you actually know that Juventus is not what it used to be. They seem bereft of ideas. The players aren't there. They're just going through the motions, circling the drain, sort of. They're getting some results actually going their way, some not. But Juventus is not the team that they used to be, and I think Max Allegri is really not getting it right.
I'm already getting afraid for him to get.
I think the only reason why they haven't sacked Allegri is because they don't have already replacements. Exactly.
They should pick not even Pochettino, the former Chelsea man.
Thomas Tuchel, yeah, he's actually available now, and he can do a fantastic job for them, because they have the players, they have quality in every area of the pitch that you can actually look at. So I think maybe the problem is Max Allegri. Max Allegri has actually reached his peak in Juventus. I don't know why he came back in the first place. I have absolutely no reason why he should come back, and I think right now the ideas
at times it's like coming back to your former club doesn't speak well anymore like before.
It doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't work for everybody. Sometimes it pays, sometimes it doesn't. For both managers and players, you understand. Sometimes it does. It works out.
Like Ronaldo now, he will be like, why did I come
back to Manchester
City? It was almost getting it done.
You understand. So that's the thing. It really doesn't work out, that homecoming kind of thing. It hardly does. So I think Max Allegri made a very big mistake by coming back to Juventus. I think Juventus made a mistake by bringing him back.
Maybe they're missing Dybala. They didn't really replace him properly. They got Di Maria, who's an aging player. So yeah, but Max Allegri, like you said, I don't know, all these defensive, conservative, pragmatic managers, I don't know, I'm not really a fan of them.
Antonio Conte people.
Yeah, him and Simeone, like once they run out of ideas, they really have to adapt, to the game has moved on from all this defensive. So Juve need to get their act together very soon, I think.
We look at the last on the log, Maccabi Haifa. Maccabi Haifa actually lost against PSG. That's the last one that we look at. PSG won again, and they did well there, 3-1. You have to look at Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi. Good one for them.
Yeah, all the front three getting on the scoreline. Honestly, I expected it to be more than that. So Maccabi, they did well to keep the scoreline at just 3-1. They even scored one themselves. It was a dominant display from PSG. I think they could have scored more even. But yeah, it was a convincing victory.
Yeah, it was an expected result. Yeah. Everybody expected PSG to actually win that game. Nobody expected Maccabi to play as well as they did and give them a good run for their money. But I think it was well expected.
PSG doing well against Maccabi Haifa, giving you all the details concerning UEFA Champions as it went down in Europe. We'll be done with this. Well, I want to appreciate you guys as Ibrahim Yusuf. Thank you very much.
It's always nice to be here.
Good one. You're smiling. I'm not asked now. Good one, Abdullahi Kabiru.
My pleasure.
I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.